Apple. The apple is Minecraft's most iconic snack, offering a modest 4 hunger points with 2.4 saturation. While not the most efficient food source, it holds the distinction of being the only edible item that can literally fall from the sky, or at least from oak and dark oak leaves when they're destroyed. Beyond their natural origins, apples show up in village chests and can be purchased from apprentice-level farmer villagers for 1 emerald. What makes apples truly special isn't their nutritional value, but their potential for transformation. Surround one with gold ingots or nuggets and you've created one of the game's most powerful food items. For new players stumbling around their first night, finding an apple feels like a small victory, even if it only fills 2 hunger shanks. It's basically the participation trophy of Minecraft foods. Not impressive, but hey, at least you won't starve. For another 5 minutes anyway. The baked potato. The baked potato represents one of Minecraft's best effort to reward ratios in the food department. A simple potato tossed in a furnace transforms from a measly 1 hunger point snack into a respectable 5 hunger point meal with a saturation of 6. Unlike its poisonous variant, the baked potato is completely safe to eat, making it a reliable staple of early game survival. The farming process is particularly rewarding. Each potato plant yields 1 to 4 potatoes when fully grown, creating an exponential food supply from a single zombie drop. For players who haven't yet established animal farms, potato fields offer an efficient and vegetarian-friendly food source that scales beautifully with minimal infrastructure. The baked potato is essentially Minecraft's version of meal prep. A little cooking time up front saves you from hunger pangs later. Just don't tell the Irish players about your massive stockpile, or they might have uncomfortable flashbacks to their history class. Beetroot. Beetroot is the food equivalent of showing up to a party nobody invited you to. Added in the 1.9 update, this root vegetable restores a pathetic single hunger point with 1.2 saturation, making it arguably the least efficient crop to farm for direct consumption. Found in villages or grown from seeds, beetroot's primary value lies not in eating it alone, but in crafting it into beetroot soup, a process that transforms 6 inefficient vegetables into 1 moderately efficient meal. The farming mechanics mirror other crops, requiring tilled soil and patience, but the payoff barely justifies the effort when compared to potatoes or carrots. What beetroot lacks in nutritional value, it makes up for in aesthetic appeal, with its vibrant red color making it useful for dyes. But let's be honest, farming beetroot exclusively for food is like using diamonds to craft hose. Technically possible, but why would you do that to yourself? It's the vegetable equivalent of that friend who consumes all your resources but contributes nothing useful to the group project. Beetroot soup. Beetroot soup is what happens when you try to salvage a disappointing vegetable through the power of combination. By placing 6 beetroots around a bowl, players create a soup that restores 6 hunger points with 7.2 saturation, transforming one of the game's worst foods into something actually worth eating. The catch? Well, unlike most food items, beetroot soup doesn't stack, meaning each bowl occupies a full inventory slot. This limitation makes it impractical for extended mining trips or explorations where inventory space is precious. Additionally, once consumed, the soup vanishes completely rather than returning the bowl, forcing players to craft new bowls for each batch. Found occasionally in snowy village chests, beetroot soup represents the classic Minecraft trade-off between inventory management and sustenance efficiency. Bread. Bread is Minecraft's answer to what if we made food that's both practical and historically accurate? 3 wheat in a horizontal row yields bread that restores 5 hunger points with 6 saturation. Solid mid-tier nourishment that doesn't require cooking infrastructure. The true beauty of bread lies in its renewable, stackable, and vegetarian-friendly nature. Wheat farms scale efficiently with minimal redstone knowledge, making bread an accessible food source for players of all skill levels. Beyond crafting, bread appears naturally in village chests, stronghold rooms, and as trade goods from novice farmer villagers. In a touching display of solidarity, farmer villagers even share bread with players during raids, proving that carbs bring communities together even in blocky worlds threatened by pillagers. For early game players, establishing a wheat farm for bread production represents a significant step towards sustainable living, the Minecraft equivalent of learning to do your own laundry instead of taking it home to mommy. Just don't expect your villagers to be impressed by your sourdough starter, okay? Cake. Cake is Minecraft's most complicated culinary creation, and ironically, one of its least practical food sources. Crafting this layered dessert requires 3 milk buckets, 2 sugar, an egg, and 3 wheat, a recipe so resource-intensive it makes you question if the cake is indeed worth it. Once crafted, cake must be placed as a block before consumption, with each of its 7 slices restoring only 2 hunger points with a paltry 0.4 saturation. Mathematically, cake is terrible. Using those same ingredients to make bread would yield significantly more hunger restoration. But cake isn't about efficiency, it's about celebration. Found occasionally in buried treasure chests or purchased from expert-level farmer villagers, cake serves as a visual milestone rather than practical sustenance. It's the Minecraft equivalent of buying an expensive wedding cake that nobody actually wants to eat. It looks impressive sitting there, but you're probably reaching for the cookies when nobody's looking. The cake may be a lie in Portal, but in Minecraft, it's just a disappointment with frosting. Carrot. Yes, the humble carrot. It restores 3 hunger points with 3.6 saturation, making it a solid early game food source that requires 0 processing. Initially obtained by killing zombies, because apparently they care about their eye health, or finding them in village gardens, carrots become fully renewable once you establish your first farm. What makes carrots particularly valuable is their secondary functions. They're essential for crafting golden carrots, the game's best saturation food, and necessary for breeding rabbits and pigs. The carrot's true superpower comes from its farming efficiency. Fully grown carrot plants yield 1 to 4 carrots, creating exponential growth from a single zombie drop. For players aspiring to advanced food production, carrots represent the first step toward golden carrot crafting, while simpleton players might just enjoy the slight improvement in night vision after consumption. Either way, carrots are the vegetable equivalent of that reliable friend who isn't particularly exciting but always shows up when you need them, and occasionally helps you make friends with pigs. Chorus fruit. Chorus fruit is what happens when Minecraft developers ask, what if food but also random teleportation? This end-exclusive food restores 4 hunger points and 2.4 saturation, but its true purpose isn't nutrition, it's transportation. Each consumption teleports the player up to 8 blocks in a random direction, prioritizing solid ground within range. This unique property makes chorus fruit the only food specifically exempt from the normal eating restrictions, allowing consumption even on a full hunger bar. Harvested from chorus plants in the end dimension, these strange purple fruits combine sustenance with the distinct possibility of accidentally teleporting off a cliff or into lava. For resource gathering expeditions in the end, chorus fruit serves as emergency rations with the added benefit of unpredictable movement, a combination that only makes sense in Minecraft's bizarre endgame content. It's essentially the Minecraft equivalent of those mystery flavor candies, except instead of wondering what flavor you got, you're wondering which block you'll materialize inside of. Teleportation has never been so nutritious or so terrifying. Cooked chicken. Cooked chicken offers 6 hunger points with 7.2 saturation, making it one of the more accessible mid-tier meats in Minecraft. The raw version drops from chickens, those clucking, egg-laying mobs that somehow survive despite having the intelligence of, well, chickens. What makes chickens particularly valuable as a food source is the dual resource nature of the mob. Chickens provide eggs for baking and breeding alongside their meat, creating a fully self-sustaining food system with minimal infrastructure. Players can either cook raw chicken in a furnace or, for the efficiency-minded, set chickens on fire directly, a cooking method that's frowned upon by most health departments. Butcher villagers offer cooked chicken for emeralds, though most players prefer the DIY approach to poultry preparation. While not as saturation-rich as steak or pork chops, cooked chicken's accessibility and renewable nature make it a practical choice for established bases. Just remember to cook it thoroughly. Raw chicken carries a 30% chance of food poisoning, making it the only meat in Minecraft with realistic food safety concerns. It's the game's way of telling you that even in a world of exploding green monsters, salmonella is still something to worry about. Cooked cod. Cooked cod provides 5 hunger points with 6 saturation, positioning it firmly in the middle class of Minecraft nutrition. Obtained by cooking raw cod, obviously, or by killing cod with fire, less obviously, This seafood option offers respectable nourishment without requiring elaborate farming setups. Fishing provides a renewable source of raw cod, making this food practical for coastal dwelling players or those who enjoy the zen-like minigame of Minecraft fishing. Beyond direct fishing, players can trade with fishermen villagers or plunder buried treasure chests for pre-cooked fillets. What makes cod particularly interesting is its connection to cats. Raw cod can be used to tame stray cats, forcing players to choose between companionship and sustenance. For players bored with terrestrial food sources, cod represents the ocean's bounty, though without the fascinating risks of its poisonous pufferfish cousin. It's essentially the Minecraft equivalent of those frozen fish sticks in your freezer. Not your first choice for dinner, but reliable enough when you can't be bothered to cook something even better. Cooked mutton. Cooked mutton delivers 6 hunger points with an impressive 9.6 saturation, placing it among the top tier of easily obtainable foods. Derived from sheep, those blocky wool factories that roam nearly every biome, mutton represents the perfect marriage of textile production and food supply. Players can establish self-sustaining sheep farms that provide both wool for beds and meat for meals, creating a remarkably efficient resource loop. Like other meats, mutton can be cooked in furnaces or obtained directly by setting unfortunate sheep ablaze, a cooking method that would horrify real-world chefs but proves remarkably efficient in-game. Butcher villagers offer cooked mutton for emeralds and may even gift it during raids, suggesting they understand the true value of protein during combat situations. Introduced in the 1.8 update, mutton filled an important gap in the game's food progression system, giving sheep a purpose beyond wool production. It's the Minecraft equivalent of those restaurants that proudly claim to use every part of the animal, except here, the parts are limited to wool blocks and meat pixels. Cooked pork chop. Cooked pork chop stands as one of Minecraft's premier food sources, restoring a substantial 8 hunger points and 12.8 saturation. This impressive nutritional profile makes it tied with steak for the title of most efficient basic food in the game. Obtained by cooking raw pork chops dropped by pigs or hoglins, this meat source combines high availability with exceptional hunger satisfaction. The pig's simple breeding mechanics using carrots or potatoes allow for sustainable farming operations that scale with minimal redstone knowledge. For nether expeditions, the more dangerous hoglin serves as an alternative source of the same delicious pork chops, adding combat challenge to meal procurement. Butcher villagers trade cooked pork chops for emeralds and sometimes gift them during raids, recognizing the premium quality of this protein source. For efficiency-focused players not yet ready to invest in golden carrots, cooked pork chops represent the perfect balance of accessibility and satisfaction. In a game where players routinely carry thousands of pounds of gold in their pockets, it's oddly satisfying that one of the best foods is just a well-cooked piece of pork, proof that even in a world of dragons and zombies, barbecue remains undefeated. Cooked rabbit. Cooked rabbit provides 5 hunger points with 6 saturation, placing it on par with baked potatoes and cooked cod in the Minecraft food hierarchy. Obtained by cooking raw rabbit meat or by directly immolating the poor bunnies, you monster, this food source requires more effort than its nutritional value might suggest. Rabbits spawn in desert, snowy, and taiga biomes, hopping away from players and making hunting a test of patience rather than combat skill. Their breeding mechanics requiring carrots and patience make farming possible but somewhat tedious compared to other livestock. Beyond basic sustenance, rabbit meat serves as a key ingredient in rabbit stew, transforming from a mid-tier food to part of one of the game's most hunger-satisfying recipes. Butcher villagers occasionally offer cooked rabbit for emeralds or as raid gifts, though most players prefer hunting their own hoppy meals. In the grand hierarchy of Minecraft meats, rabbit occupies an awkward middle ground, better than chicken, but worse than the premier proteins, much like its real-world counterpart that can't decide if it's a pet or a stew ingredient. Cooked salmon. Cooked salmon offers 6 hunger points with an excellent 9.6 saturation, making it one of the most efficient fish-based foods in Minecraft. Obtained by cooking raw salmon or by setting salmon on fire directly, a questionable cooking technique at best, this pink pixel protein provides superior nutrition compared to its cod cousin. Fishermen can acquire raw salmon through fishing with a chance determined by water type and fishing rod enchantments. For players uninterested in the meditative art of Minecraft fishing, fishermen villagers offer trades for cooked salmon, providing an alternative acquisition method. Found occasionally in buried treasure chests, salmon represents the ocean's finest offering, a high-saturation food source that doesn't require elaborate farming infrastructure. In a game where players routinely consume foods that would cause severe gastrointestinal distress in reality, looking at you, rotten flesh, properly cooked salmon stands as a beacon of culinary reasonableness. It's the Minecraft equivalent of ordering the healthy option at a fast food restaurant, surprisingly satisfying and somehow making you feel superior to those eating zombie meat. Cookie. The cookie provides a disappointing 2 hunger points with a pathetic 0.4 saturation, making it one of the least efficient foods in Minecraft. Created by placing cocoa beans alongside wheat, this treat exemplifies style over substance in the Minecraft culinary world. What cookies lack in nutritional value, they make up for in mass production potential. Each crafting operation yields 8 cookies, creating the illusion of abundance while actually delivering minimal sustenance. Journeyman farmer villagers offer 18 cookies for 3 emeralds, a trade that primarily benefits the villager rather than the player. The true purpose of cookies lies not in practical nutrition, but in their connection to cultural Minecraft knowledge. They're the prepared food of the rare brown mushroom and were once used to breed parrots before developers realized teaching kids to feed chocolate to birds was a little problematic. For practical players, cookies represent wasted inventory space, but for those who appreciate Minecraft's whimsical side, there's something undeniably satisfying about munching pixel cookies while exploring. They're essentially the Minecraft equivalent of those tiny complimentary desserts at restaurants, not filling whatsoever, but somehow make you feel fancy as you starve. Dried kelp. Dried kelp is Minecraft's answer to the question, what if we made food that's almost useless but extremely quick to eat? Restoring a single hunger point with minimal saturation, 0.6 in Java and 0.2 in Bedrock, this processed seaweed has the unique distinction of being consumable in just 0.4 seconds, less than half the time of other foods. Obtained by smelting raw kelp or breaking down dried kelp blocks, this food source prioritizes speed over substance. While nutritionally disappointing, dried kelp's rapid consumption makes it ideal for quick healing when combined with natural regeneration, allowing players to restore health while minimizing vulnerability during combat. Beyond its food properties, dried kelp serves as a highly efficient fuel source when compressed into blocks, making its primary value industrial rather than nutritional. Farmer villagers occasionally gift dried kelp during raids, though most players would prefer almost any other food donation. It's essentially the Minecraft equivalent of those tiny crackers served with soup. Nobody would choose to eat them alone, but they serve a purpose in very specific circumstances, particularly when you need to chew really, really fast. Enchanted Golden Apple. The Enchanted Golden Apple stands as Minecraft's ultimate consumable, a food item so powerful it transcends mere hunger management to become a combat essential. Providing 4 hunger points with 9.6 saturation, its nutritional value is secondary to its status effects: regeneration, absorption 4, resistance, and fire resistance, creating a temporary near invulnerability that can turn the tide of any battle. Unlike its non-enchanted cousin, this glowing fruit cannot be crafted, making it one of the game's few genuinely non-renewable resources. Found exclusively in rare chests within desert pyramids, dungeons, woodland mansions, mine shafts, and ancient cities, each enchanted golden apple represents a precious resource to be saved for truly desperate situations. Its distinctive purple glow and golden sheen make it instantly recognizable, a literal beacon of hope in dire circumstances. For veteran players, few moments match the excitement of finding this legendary item, knowing it represents a get-out-of-death-free card for future adventures. It's the Minecraft equivalent of that $100 bill some people keep in their wallet for emergencies. You hope you never need to use it, but knowing it's there provides immense peace of mind. The Golden Apple. The Golden Apple provides 4 hunger points with 9.6 saturation, but its true value lies not in basic nutrition, but in its powerful status effects: regeneration 2 for 5 seconds and absorption for 2 minutes. Crafted by surrounding an apple with 8 gold ingots, this golden fruit represents a significant resource investment that yields substantial combat advantages. Unlike its enchanted counterpart, the standard golden apple is completely renewable, allowing prepared players to maintain a supply for challenging encounters. Beyond crafting, these valuable items appear in various structure chests, from desert pyramids to woodland mansions, rewarding exploration with potential combat advantages. Their primary purpose transcends simple hunger management. Golden apples provide rapid health regeneration and temporary health buffer, making them essential for boss fights and PvP encounters. For efficiency-minded players, golden apples represent the perfect emergency item, not for routine consumption, but vital when circumstances turn dire. They're essentially the Minecraft equivalent of those emergency flares kept in car trunks, expensive, rarely used, but potentially life-saving when the situation demands. Glowberries. Glowberries restore a modest 2 hunger points with minimal 0.4 saturation, making them nutritionally similar to cookies and sweet berries. Introduced in the Caves and Cliffs update, these luminous fruits grow on cave vines found exclusively within lush cave biomes, creating a unique food source that doubles as natural cavern lighting. Their primary value isn't nutritional but utilitarian. Harvested berries can be replanted to extend cave vines, creating renewable light sources that transform the caving experience. For players exploring the dangerous depths, these glowing fruits provide emergency sustenance with the added benefit of illuminating potential paths forward. While inefficient as a primary food source, their dual-purpose nature makes them worth collecting during underground expeditions. In the hierarchy of Minecraft berries, they maintain the poor nutritional value of their surface cousins, while adding the novel property of bioluminescence. They're essentially the Minecraft equivalent of those glow stick necklaces from carnivals. Not particularly useful in most situations, but somehow exactly what you need when fumbling around in the dark. The Golden Carrot. The Golden Carrot stands as Minecraft's saturation champion, providing 6 hunger points with an unmatched 14.4 saturation, creating the highest total hunger value of any standard food item. Crafted by surrounding a carrot with gold nuggets, this gilded vegetable represents the perfect balance of resource investment and nutritional return. Beyond its impressive stats, golden carrots serve as key ingredients in night vision and invisibility potions, as well as breeding material for horses. Their exceptional saturation to hunger ratio makes them the preferred food for players focused on minimizing eating frequency, particularly during long building or mining sessions. Master-level farmer villagers offer golden carrots for emeralds, providing an alternative acquisition method for gold-poor players. While their crafting costs makes them impractical for early game, established players often transition to golden carrots as their exclusive food source, valuing efficiency over gold conservation. They're essentially the Minecraft equivalent of those expensive organic health foods, seemingly overpriced until you realize how much better they make you feel compared to the cheaper alternatives. Honey Bottle. The Honey Bottle offers 6 hunger points with just 1.2 saturation, creating a nutritional profile that prioritizes immediate hunger restoration over lasting fullness. What makes this sweet liquid truly unique is its medicinal property. Consuming honey instantly cures poison effects, making it the only food item with a specific status effect remedy. Obtained by using glass bottles on bees' nests or hives, preferably with a campfire placed underneath to avoid angry bees, honey represents one of the game's more involved food production systems. Beyond nutrition and poison management, honey bottles serve as crafting ingredients for honey blocks, connecting food systems with redstone mechanics. Like milk, honey can be consumed even on a full hunger bar when used for its curative properties. For players battling cave spiders or dealing with witch encounters, keeping honey bottles in the hotbar provides strategic advantages that transcend basic hunger management. It's essentially the Minecraft equivalent of those fancy artisanal honeys at farmers markets, priced more for their specialized properties than their basic sweetness. Melon Slice. The Melon Slice offers 2 hunger points with 1.2 saturation, positioning it firmly in the category of foods that are barely worth the inventory space. Obtained by breaking melon blocks, which yield 3 to 7 slices per harvest, these refreshing fruit wedges provide minimal nutrition with one significant advantage: extremely high quantity from minimal farming space. A single melon stem can produce potentially unlimited melon blocks over time, making this one of the most space-efficient crops for pure food quantity, if not quality. While inefficient for direct consumption, melon slices serve as brewing ingredients for mundane and healing potions, giving them value beyond basic nutrition. For new players establishing their first farms, melons provide a visually satisfying harvest that creates the illusion of food security while actually delivering minimal sustenance per inventory slot. In the hierarchy of Minecraft crops, melons occupy an awkward middle ground, more abundant than carrots but less nutritious than most alternatives. They're essentially the Minecraft equivalent of complimentary bread at restaurants. You'll eat it because it's there, not because it's particularly good. And that's half of every Minecraft food source explained. If you enjoyed this breakdown of blocky nutrition, make sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into gaming mechanics that are simultaneously unnecessary, detailed, yet surprisingly practical. Until next time, keep your hunger bar full and your poisonous potatoes in a clearly labeled chest.